Hi, this is your rubric for the linear equations menu project. What I'm going to go over today is your rubric, my expectations of what you need to have completed for this project. We already went over this in class, but in case you forgot what I said, I'm going over it again. There are going to be different sections of this, and some have different requirements, and you have lots of choices in this. So I just want you to remember that when you're going through this. The first section is the appetizer. And everyone has to complete this entire section. The choice you get is you're going to create your own equation in the slope-intercept form, and you're going to label the slope in the y-intercept. So for this, I just literally want you to take the slope-intercept form, make up some numbers, plug it in, and then tell me what the slope is and tell me what the y-intercept is. That's going to be 5 points of your final grade. Okay, the next section is the soup and salad. So you're going to choose two of these three choices. You can pick any two you want, it does not matter to me. So there's going to be one that you don't have to do. The first choice is to create a flipbook for your equation. So what this is where we've done it before. You take a piece of paper, you fold it in half and into fourths, and you cut slips in it so you have little flaps going up and down. And on each flap, you're going to have a different form of your equation. And then on the last one, you're going to have a graph of the equation. So the first flap is going to have the slope-intercept form. The second flap is going to have point-slope form. The third flap is going to have the standard form, and then the last one's going to have the graph. So, like I told you in class, the top you're going to see is the type of form. When you flip it open, you're going to have the work in there showing me how you got that form. And that's all I want for the flipbook. The next choice is to create 4 practice problems using the different forms, graphing an equation and the answers. So if you need help, you can look at the class example for this. What I'm talking about is this is not really going to have anything to do with the problem that you created in your appetizer, but you're just going to come up with 4 problems like taking a problem from standard form to slope-intercept form. You're going to make the directions that go with it and the problem, and then you're going to show me how you solved it. So it's really important that you don't forget to do your directions in there. The last choice is to explain using complete sentences how to go from slope point form to slope intercept form, and what each form uses and how they are helpful. You're going to use your equation from the appetizer as an example. It says here, write like you were explaining it to a younger sibling. So if you did the flipbook, then you've already done this. You've taken your equation from your appetizer and you put it into slope-intercept form. Explain to me how you went that way, how you did that. Explain to me why would I want it in slope-intercept form. How is that going to be helpful to me? Same with point-slope form. Okay, so those are all things you're going to explain to me in complete sentences. So you're going to choose 2 of those 3. The next section is the entree, and you're going to choose 3 of these. So this time you only have to do 3. The first choice is to create a cube, which I have the template for. You're just so I have the template for it, and each side is going to have something different on it based off of your equation that you created from your appetizer. So the first side, doesn't matter what side, just one of the sides has to have just your equation on it. Then on the next side is going to be its x-intercept, so you're going to show me the work of how you found its x-intercept. The next side is going to have its y-intercept and how you showed me the work for that. Then on the next side you're going to find a parallel equation, so you need to show me all the work where you had to pick a point, find the slope, plug it into a new equation, etc. A perpendicular equation, same thing, but this time we're talking perpendicular. And then on the last side, you're going to graph all 3 of those equations. You're going to graph the parallel, the perpendicular, and your original equation. And please make sure that they are labeled so I know which one is which. It helps if you color code that. The next choice is to create 5 practice problems for finding parallel and perpendicular equations with an equation and a point and finding x and y intercepts in the answers. Okay, so have one problem where you have to find a parallel line. have one problem where you have to find a perpendicular line. Have a problem where you have to find the x and y intercepts. So those are three different types of problems. You have to have 5 of them so you can repeat any types you want. And you also have to show me the work for it. And please do not forget to have your directions. If you don't have your directions, I don't know what you're supposed to be doing. The next choice is write out each step of how to find one of the following. Okay, so you're going to choose one of these types of problems and you're going to explain to me step by step how to do it. So the first choice is one line that is parallel to your equation. So if you did the cube, you've already done that work, so then you would just need to explain it out. Another choice is one line that's perpendicular to your equation. Again, if you did that in the cube, you just got to explain your steps. Or you can choose you can choose to explain how you get the x and y intercepts. And again, I want you to remember to write like you were explaining to a younger sibling. We want to make sure this is clearly understood by all. Your last choice for this section is to complete the 3-2-1 sheet. I have this sheet available for you at the front of the class. What you're going to have to do is find the x and y intercepts of 3 different lines. You are going to have to find 2 lines that are parallel to 2 different lines, and then you're going to have to find one set of lines that are perpendicular. So that's the sheet that I have for you at the front of the class. This section here is the dessert. It's optional. You can do it for extra credit. I really encourage you to do it, but again, it's not required. What you can do is make a set of cards that could be used to review what we have learned in this unit to play memory or go fish. So for example, on one card, like a match would be an equation, and the other match might be its parallel line, or something of that nature. I don't know how you want to do it, but that's just an idea. This last section here says other, and you must have all of these. This is the general things that I expect. I want to have a cover page that includes a creative title, your name, date, and hour. Okay. Like you saw mine, I had a creative title. It had Miss Kling's Kaboom Kitchen. So just do something creative like that. Doesn't have to be completely insane, but I also want it to be colorful and I want it to be neat. Don't throw together some crap and expect it to be good. I want you to take time and do this seriously. And that is your rubric for your menu project.